Hi, today we come to the end of our series on personal branding. And like I said at the beginning, every single episode is available on this website. You can go to the archives and you can retrieve it and you can use it. Our goal is to ensure that there is consistent transformation going on in your life every day. Now, so we've been talking this week about personal branding, and we've looked at the first thing is, where do you want to be? How do you want to define yourself? Then we talked about the language of your destination. We've talked about the attributes. We've talked about the importance of your associations, of the information you allow into yourself, and packaging yourself for the brand you want to be. Now, we talked about faithfulness and loyalty to your vision under pressure, and we said that only comes when you have a very strong picture of success of where you want to be. Now, we wrap this up today by talking about one sure way to consolidate yourself as a brand and to multiply your effect as a brand. And that is what we call promotion by mentoring. It's so important. You want to be a brand that's reckoned with. You must have other people that you are mentoring, that you are making disciples, people who you are making to be disciplined in your doctrine, people who you are bringing up and helping them to achieve to achieve success. All right. Now, the more people you build up, the higher you go, and that's the way it is. The more people you build, the higher you go, and then the more people you now have as ambassadors of your brand. So, how do we begin this mentoring process? It's very simple, and I think if there is one way, one place in which some of our great leaders have failed, it is in the area of mentoring. Because of the circumstances surrounding their operations, circumstances of insecurity and fear, many of them did not take the time to invest their minds into the minds of a new generation and mentor others. You can start mentoring right now. That mentoring happens everywhere around us. The parent, the children are looking at the parent and they are finding out, they are learning how to do it. So you find a child growing up with the mannerisms of the father. You have a child growing up with the same speech impediment of the mother. All right, why? Because they were in a place where they could observe. And that's very important. Mentoring starts by observation. So, if you're going to be an effective mentor, you have to be ready to put yourself under the searchlight to be observed. Now, as people observe you, then what happens is they begin to imitate things in you that trigger off or that resonate with something in them. Now, what has happened is a lot of times we cover ourselves. We don't allow, we have this wall around ourselves that makes it very difficult for people to observe. So as a mentor, and the truth is this, when you mentor people, it's not always going to be easy. One of the things I tell people I mentor, I say, number one, you are going to have to be brutally honest with me. Number two, I am going to be brutally honest with you. We call a spade and not an agricultural implement. Because if I'm going to mentor, and I tell them, if I'm going to mentor you, I've opened up myself to you. But then, don't now try to cover up certain things in your life. I need to mentor you in your strengths. I need to mentor you out of your weaknesses. I need to mentor you to identify the opportunities in your life. And I need to mentor you to eliminate your threats. That's the job of a mentor. And this is one sure way to consolidate the brand you want to be. So we saw ourselves. I saw myself in a particular light. And then what did I begin to do? I began, first of all, very informally. People come around. I'm able to share with them. I'm able to give advice. I'm able to encourage them. I'm able to tell them when they're going off track. And suddenly, you see that a whole new generation is being birthed that are thinking in a different way. Well, I'm also a beneficiary. My mentors were people that opened up themselves to me. I learned by observation. I learned by communication. Those are two major ingredients. Learning by observation, learning by communication. So as I began to interact with my mentors, I learned the things to do. I learned what not to do. And the truth, the good thing is that my mentors did not just mentor me. They were not perfect people. And that's very crucial. It works both ways. We have some people who are looking for the perfect mentor you will not find. Then we have some people who are supposed to be mentors who are looking for the perfect prodigy or mentee you will not. Also, we have people who should have been great mentors, but they are so busy protecting their spick and span reputations. And so they've not allowed people to come close enough to the place where they can effectively mentor them. I remember once, many years ago, one of my children was, my kids were very small. And so my second son, I was all set to go out, fully dressed. And I picked him up. He was about 3-4 months old. So I picked him up on the bed. His mom had just brought him from bathing him. I picked him up and I threw him up and I was playing with him. And the guy peed on me. Now I was fully dressed, ready to go out. And the guy messed up my whole outfit. What do you do at such a time? Do you get upset and throw away the baby? Of course not. And I learned a valuable lesson that day, that when we mentor people, sometimes they will mess us up. But if their hearts are right and they are ready to get their head aligned with their right heart, then we will mentor them. Now, who are the people we will not mentor? The people we will not mentor are people who don't think they need to be mentored. They are people who feel too good, too big to be mentored. In that case, they will find their mentor somewhere else. So, as we wrap up this week, if you'd like us to establish a closer relationship to help you in your journey, please do not hesitate. Send me an email, wale@powertalks.biz. Let's interact. Let's interact on Twitter. Let's interact on Facebook. And let's see how we can help you go to the next form of your life. We'll be back again with more exciting action from Powertalks Television. Till then, thank you and God bless.